Hey guys, so I want to talk about Paldea Evolved and I want to talk about the Scarlet Vibe box in general. And I know I've been releasing a bunch of videos of just looking at market changes, and I hope you guys like this sort of thing. I'd like to look at the data and see just things that are happening day to day that might be pretty tiring for other people to keep track of. Honestly, it's a little tiring for me to keep track of too, but I'm starting to see a bunch of patterns with different effects of boxes. And there's just so much going on in general. Like, I've been talking about Sword Shield lately, I've been talking Pokemon Center, but all of it, doing all this market analysis is kind of all kind of coming together. Um, the general thing is that there's so much money and so much demand in Pokemon that people are just trying to get opportunity. And it's really does seem like we're hitting like a new sort of market cycle, and or I don't know if that's the right way to phrase it, but just a new sort of wave of demands and not looking back sort of stuff. So um, it's kind of frightening, but there's been so much growth in the last, I guess, few days or week, and let's get into that. Like, you're seeing more of this. Paldea Evolved is pretty much a $200 booster box at this point, when literally just like about a week ago, it was at like 150 or MSRP. It's just growing so much, and you're seeing like a lot of people are not like trying to sell out Paldea. Like, I think that's gonna keep going to 200. Like, throughout this run, Paldea is gonna be like, I don't know if it's gonna be leading the pack, but it's gonna be like one of the big runners. Similar to how Fusion Strike is doing that. Like, sure, you still have Surging Sparks, um, but yeah, we like Paldea Evolved is literally getting Surging Sparks territory. Like, Surging Sparks, it was hitting about 250, but now let's say it's 230 right now, so it's not too far off. And so okay, let's backtrack. What do I mean by we're in a different market cycle? So a lot of people in December, you would notice like a bunch of like slow movement in December for certain things. I don't this graph doesn't really show it, but pretty much like the obvious play for booster boxes is to get the booster box at around like $100, maybe 110, 120. A lot of those plays like evaporated around like November, December time, so people were like getting like anxious and they're trying to move money around because like you don't want to buy something that isn't going to appreciate. But right now everything's appreciating, so let's just go through the basic numbers. Scarlet Violet base, it says 125 here basically with the shipping, but there's a caveat to that. So there's this one guy who has 5 boxes that's selling for 125. 6 sales, 0% feedback. So it's just a small seller, probably trying to dump his boxes or get feedback. But after that, you get more consistent pricing at about 137. So I'm gonna say Scarlet base is about 135, $140 right now. Yeah, Paldea 195, $200. All these like there's not a lot of other listings out there. Obsidian Flames huge rise. Like, I just checked this other day, it was supposed to be like 140. Now it's 155. It's like you see this. It's a more significant price rise. And that's good to keep note of. So like Scarlet Violet, like it's not having a sudden move. It's still like 135, but this it means that it's probably a worse thing, not as much hype or a lot of energy. Paldea a lot of energy, Obsidian a lot of energy. Paradox Rift, it's kind of so. It's always been kind of like not the best like that, but even then it's like 140. People think it's like chilling rain, but it's definitely like a slower mover. Like Obsidian's beating it by $15. Um, Temporal has staying where it's kind of increased by $5. But there's a lot of factors that are really weird. Temporal won't go later. But like again, like I've been like with all the other market analysis I've been doing in past videos, it's really helped clarify the situation. Um, like I did like a Pokemon analysis, which I'm going to use the data here to kind of explain what I'm seeing. But I feel like a lot of people wouldn't be able to see this because they wouldn't be looking at these particular market trends or like the exact stock data. Like I never had Pokemon stock data back in the day, and it's just really helpful for forming decisions. Um, Twilight Masquerade, still you can buy Pokemon Center, so technically it should be 161, but yeah, it's rising. But it's kind of been difficult to rise in the past few months because it was already around MSRP, so why would you pay more MSRP? Like, ever, like hasn't really changed much since October 15th, so that's like almost 2 months. Twilight hasn't really moved. Stellar Crown, $150. This also has particular things I want to talk about. I think that it has just some factors on it that I think it's going to do pretty well. as long as the run keeps happening. And there are ways to predict kind of how the run will go. And Surging Sparks had that little sort of like mellowness, and the most recent days it went up to like 240 to 35, and now people are kind of going at like 240 to. We'll see how this goes. If this all goes balling out, then we'll go back to like 240 50 land. But this could be another stabilization for it. Okay, so what am I saying? Okay, so I've kind of divided the sets into three categories. So I divide the sets into oldest. The oldest ones are SV1 to SV4. So that's base, Paldea, Obsidian, and Paradox. So they have their own characteristics. And the next set of ones are, I'm going to call middle tier. It's just kind of timing, but 5, 6, and 7. So Temporal, Twilight, and Stellar. And then it's newest, which is basically Searching Sparks, because I'm only doing booster boxes right now. Okay, so what am I seeing? So starting with the first four, Paldea and Obsidian, like not like I've been looking at these for the past like few weeks, and it's not just because the price is higher, but they've had like positive market movement in the last um in the last month or two, and they've also had different circumstances. So Paldea was one of the sets that was hyped up because of the magic card. It has like a lot of characters. It has the magic card chase card. It's already gone to its lows. It's an older set, and it's been hard to get it once it got hyped up. Like there's a little restock where it got to 120, and that happened recently. But everyone's always felt like there's like ever since like we got past the Paldea is like a bad set sort of thing. It's always been like people are always look into it, and therefore money's always flowing into it. So Paldea was stuck around like I said like 140 for a while. And I guess I could look at the data for that. So it's been like it was around this point where it just got stuck all these months around just say like July to November. So that was like 7 months. It had its time where like people were like, it's all right. It's not as good as maybe like the best thing ever. Like a Twilight has a good ninja, whatever. Um, but it's only been recently that has its run. Obsidian also has been making moves. And so it was kind of stuck. It was like people considered lower tier sets. Like just in July, it was like 107, and then it started increasing like 110, yeah, whatever. Once you hit like 114 to 107, people say a big deal. And then it started like I just like it's been slow and steady, but like there we had this period where it's like in the 120s for like I'd say that's like say 2 months, and then we had the recent to 130. So it's following a similar route as Paldea actually. Paradox, not like Paradox it's just like every time it goes up it's kind of like painful. Like it's not like a big dramatic thing. It's just like okay, I'll buy Paradox. Okay, I'll buy Paradox. Okay, I'll buy Paradox. SV base is the same way. It's like okay, I'll buy. I guess I'll buy. I guess I'll go into it. I guess it's a little steeper than Paradox. Sentiment is generally that these two will rise. These are more the front runners, and that's Paldea. I get Obsidian. I'm a little confused about, but that's just kind of what it is. Like um, and then since I've been looking at Pokemon Center prices so much, Paldea and Obsidian are completely sold out of Pokemon Center. Also, booster box wise, all four of them are sold out. But there's still plenty of Paradox and Scarlet Vibe based products on Pokemon Center, and that'll make it so the price won't be as much. And generally, like people just don't really want to buy these things in some ways. Um, so that's kind of sentiment for these. Like we're at the point where every booster box is around $140 or more, and every we have the effect where everything's just going up. So even if it's a worse set like Scarlet Violet base, it's still gonna go up. But the ones that are gonna fly more, like that some are gonna fly. It's just more of a time thing. Right now, Paldea and Obsidian are the ones flying. I think they'll continue to fly because there's no pressure in Pokemon Center. Paradox and Scarlet Violet, everyone kind of has meh sentiment around it, and there's a lot of stock on Pokemon Center. Um, let's see some of the numbers I put for that just real quick. So Scarlet and Violet base, like yeah, there's still a lot of products. Like I didn't get all of them, but there's still like 20,000 sleeve boosters of Scarlet Violet, and there's 7,000 of booster bundles. There's a lot of Scarlet Violet. No one's hurting to get Scarlet Violet. Paradox Rifts. I think there was a lot of the other stuff. Actually, let me just double check that There's a lot of stuff as well. I think I just put the low numbers, but there's a bunch of 3-pack blisters in the 7,000 ranges. But, like these are still high numbers. You don't really get as concerned. I guess that's 3,000. You don't really get as concerned until it reaches like lower and everything's actually sold out. But yeah, with Paradox, see other product build. I just didn't bother listing these other ones and checking stocks because like I know they're not gonna be close sold out because like they're not as desired. Like out of all these products, 3-pack blisters are the most sought after. And this follows a typical pattern of a booster box. This follows the typical pattern of booster boxes that people don't want. Booster boxes are sold out. This is a little abnormal because I don't really know why booster boxes sold out, but the desired booster bundles sold out. Next, we'll probably see 3-pack blisters, and everything else is gonna be a slow grind. That's a normal path. Scarlet and Violet, same sort of deal. Somehow the booster box got sold out a while ago, and you have all these like other products no one wants. Versus Obsidian Flames, somehow Obsidian Flames still has this actually. I think I forgot about this, but still, like all the bad products are already gone. Like it's a really good thing to notice when the build and battles are gone. That's usually a very good sign because everything else people want. People like sleep packs, people like booster bundles, people like 3-pack blisters. So this will probably sell out soon. And Paldea is pretty much all gone except for I think one product that people have a hard time searching for. Okay, so that's the analysis of that. So there is a preference for boxes that are completely sold on Pokemon Center, and I don't know if it's like a chicken and egg sort of thing of like, well, the reason they're sold out is because people want them more or whatnot. But it seems to match up. Like I don't have as much confidence in Paradox and Scarlet and Violet in the short term, but I have more confidence in Obsidian as much as I don't like Obsidian as much. And Paldea. And okay, so next, well, I'll just go to the easy one. So Surging Sparks, very good, very popular set. People really want it. It's the most recent. Like it's just in this realm of like obviously like if you have this, it'll be worth a lot. It'll have a run and everything. If you got it early, great. If you get it now, I don't know if the price is too high, but this is in like its own kind of category. This is newest territory. There's another booster box coming out like Journeys Together or something. I don't know how well that'll do. It'll probably be expensive, well like near MSRP or more, but it's not as strong. It's not as obvious. Okay, so the reason why I'm making this video longer is because I want to look at these sets. Um, Pretty much like if you're getting in a Paldea of City and you're doing it because you think they're going to continue going up, which I actually think they're going to continue going up, and it's kind of a preference sort of thing. Paldea, I think will definitely continue going up. Like if it goes to $300, I wouldn't be surprised. Obsidian, for some reason people like it. It just keeps baffling me, but I'm a little more hesitant in personally getting more of it because it just feels like maybe people won't want in the future. But the thing is that they're just unless Pokemon Center restocks, there's not any more supply of it. Um, and then Paradox and Scarlet Violet, you're kind of only getting them because they're cheap. And then Paradox, you're kind of getting it because it seems like a dark horse. Like when you look at the set, it doesn't look like a bad set. I think it suffers from what I call like the 151 effect versus not. Obsidian has the familiarity of a bunch of original 151 cards. There's Pidgeot, Ninetales, or whatever. Paradox just has a bunch of like it has some nice cards, but I think like Paradox and Temporal suffer from there's not really like a ton of the really obvious nostalgic cards. Like, a lot of this is like not Gen 1. Yeah, honestly, a lot of it's not Gen 1. Like they look nice, but there's just some like emotional connection out there. And then Temporal like does that to the extreme. Like there's a lot of no connection to Gen 1. Like there's some like warps like Paradox or whatever Pokemon they call them, Gen 2 or more, but yeah, those are suffering. It's very apparent that these are suffering. Um like even Paldea has a Magikarp. Um and then Twilight doesn't have necessarily a lot of gen. It has Eevee actually, and it has Greninja. Okay. So Twilight is definitely gonna run up because it's kind of accepted. It's like a Lost Order Fusion Strike. I keep telling people buy Twilight Masquerade if you really want to know it. This is your last chance, unless there's a reprint in the future. But still, it's gonna run. It's gonna run to 200 something plus. Um, Last time I checked, well, yesterday when I checked, it was at 2650, less than 2650. I think when I when I re-looked the other day, I mean earlier today, it was at like 2,300. This thing's about to sell out. I predicted it's gonna sell out this month, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's sold by next week. Like I really think it. Like, give me 2 weeks to be safe. I said 30 days to be very conservative. But honestly, if it sells out next week, I wouldn't be surprised. If it takes 2 weeks. That's probably like I probably wouldn't mind betting money on 2 weeks. Um, they're selling out very fast. So this is going to be the case where it's also in the case where it's all sold out, um, except for these packs. Actually, I should check how many there are of these. But yes, but still, the build and battles are all gone. That's the most important. Um, these things are kind of iffy. Like this kind of happened recently in Scarlet and Violet, where they started having like normal packs. I don't have as much experience with this, but actually, wait, I'll just open Discord. I'll check the stock numbers real quick, and I'll talk about something else because that will impact like how much Twilight will run to some extent, how much there is left available at MSRP. But yeah, people do like packs better than like building battles. But yeah, I'll when the stock number it takes a while for it to load or to get the numbers. Okay, so so this brings like what do I do about like Stellar Crown and Temporal Forces? So if I had to choose one at this point, like I don't really like Stellar Crown fully, except for the Squirrel and Bulbasaur. But honestly, I think that that's part of what's gonna make them do well. So stock number wise, Stellar Crown booster boxes. There's only like 7,000 left, which is actually still a lot, but like 7,300 versus like Temporal Forces. There's 20,000 boxes. It's gonna take a very long time for these things to sell out. Stellar Crown. I think that there is. I think that's it actually. Actually, no. There's other stuff too. There's the sleep packs, normal packs, but these two things. There's only about 7,000 each of them. Um, I feel like again the 151 effect is real because Stellar Crown has a Squirrel and Bulbasaur, and like there's more being sold. Um, like if I look at the quantity, like there's average of like 70 to 100 boxes every 3 days. Temporal, that's not temporal. Temporal is more like 50 every 3 days, and that's just kind of recent. But Temporal has the harder ceiling of 20,000 bucks. Like we don't even know how much that is. It says 20,000 plus on the thing. Like I only really know like more exact numbers when it gets to below 20,000. So it's just like this is gonna have a hard time. Like on TCG Player, the price might go up, but it's just like not going to run. I think Stellar, as far as sold out booster boxes, like because like we never really been in a situation where everything's sold out like this. Like maybe during COVID, I don't really remember. I wasn't really around for there, but SC1 to 4 is all sold out. Surging Sparks sold out. Twilight's gonna be sold out. Like I guarantee, like 2 weeks. Give it like less than 2 weeks, guys. And then you have Stellar and Temporal, and Stellar just has more going for it right now. Like it's actually more expensive at 150. Um, and yeah, people. I don't know. Temporal has this like weird thing about it, but yeah, there's just like too much of it. I don't think it's like a necessarily a bad set. But it's like at the 20,000 boxes, it's just giving me like Battle Styles and Vivid Vulture's like vibes and stuff. Like there's too much of it. Like on Pokemon Center, like there's 10,000 boxes of Vivid Vulture left and 20,000 Battle Styles. And that makes a huge it makes a huge difference. Okay, let's look at the Twilight Masquerade. Um, actually, this is out of stock. What the wait, is that correct? Is that just a typo on the website? Okay, yeah. The let me click on this. Oh, actually, this is actually out of stock. Yeah. Once booster boxes sell out, there will be no more Twilight Masquerade left. Unless I'm missing something. Sometimes Pokemon Center just these silly things where like it doesn't show everything. But yeah, I don't know why. Um, you can see that, but yeah, it's out of stock. So yeah. Anyway, so summarize all this. We are seeing huge price runs. Paldea is gonna go crazy. Twilight's about to go crazy. Obsidian is in its own world going crazy. And then the next things to run up are kind of like either the cheap boxes, because like they're just cheap and they're not getting reprinted, but there's still plenty on auxiliary Pokemon Center. And I'm telling you guys, Stellar Crown, like this is like a month ahead. I don't know how long it takes to sell 7,000, but at some point we're going to see like $150 plus booster boxes coming out for the new sets. And if Stellar Crown is around the same price, people are going to flock to it or Temporal. And there's just less of it on Pokemon Center, so and people just like the Squirtle and Bulbasaur, and people are gonna buy more of this. Like I have more confidence in Stellar Crown now than I have Temporal. Reprints can affect things, but right now we are definitely in everyone's ignoring reprints. Um, yeah. So yeah, this is my thoughts on Scarlet and Violet. Like this is more of a short and long term warning video. Like short term, buy Twilight if you really want to get into it. Like if you think it's too expensive, you don't want to pay 150. I get you. Like I'm kind of in the same boat. Um, After that, like either go for the sure things of Paldea or Obsidian. Go for the cheap boxes if that's your style. And if you got to choose between Stellar and Temporal, like I have to go with this with the data right now. I have to go with Stellar just because of Pokemon Center stock. Anyway, and then Surging, I don't. Surging is in its own sort of category. Like, get in on it if you want, but if you're getting in on these prices, it's gonna be hard to make your money back. Unless it like until you wait until Rise of the Live, you count for fees and stuff. But anyway, that's it for the video. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.